If you're buying in Kenosha, and your first question is, which city is better, Kenosha or Pleasant Prairie, you're probably asking the wrong question. Because in most cases, the neighborhood matters a lot more than the city. And if you get that wrong, you can end up in the right city, but the completely wrong lifestyle. Today, I'm going to break down exactly what impacts your daily life, your home value, and your long-term decision. I'm Chad Scott, your Kenosha area real estate agent and local resident. I help move-up buyers and relocators make smart decisions here every single week. If you're planning to move in the next 6 to 12 months, this is one of those conversations that you should definitely have before you make a mistake. All my contact information is down below in the description of this video. Now let's get into it. So people typically search when they start their home search: Kenosha versus Pleasant Prairie, Kenosha versus Racine, Wisconsin versus Illinois. These searches aren't wrong, they just aren't very specific. Cities are broad labels. When you search Kenosha, Kenosha includes downtown condos, lakefront historic homes, southwest subdivision ranches, 2 stories, new construction homes, plus a mixture of older homes built in the 1950s, and maybe some rural feel properties west of I-94. That's a wildly different living experience under one city name. So if you say, I want to live in Kenosha, okay, where? That's the real question you need to be asking. So what affects your everyday life? This is the question that you need to ask yourself when you start to look for a home and neighborhood that fits your lifestyle. Street traffic patterns. Are you okay with a busier street like 75th Street? Or do you want to live in a quieter neighborhood street that only has neighborhood traffic? School boundaries. Kenosha allows you to choose your school that you want to send your child to. However, you may not have busing that's available, and it's subject to availability. But if schools are important to you, then you want to look at a specific neighborhood. What about walkability? Do you like to walk in the evenings, during lunch, or in the morning? A neighborhood with sidewalks might be at the top of your list. How about lot size? How big of a yard do you want? Is that important to you? It's a question you need to ask. Age of the home. Do you want a newer home, or is a home that's built in the early to mid 1900s? Is that okay with you? HOA versus no HOA. Is this a big sticking point for you? Some people are okay with a neighborhood with an HOA, or is that a deal breaker for you? Proximity to I-94. Do you need to be close to the highway to commute to and from work, or the Illinois border? Some people, it's not a big deal for. Proximity to the lake. How close to the lake do you want to be? We get the lake effect snow here in the winter a lot of times. Kenosha will get snow, but places like Bristol, Paddock Lake, and Salem, they get nothing. So maybe the county is a better choice for you if you hate snow. Commercial noises versus quieter interior streets. Do you want a home inside the neighborhood where it's typically quieter, or are you okay with being closer to a busier street? They may be louder at different times of the day. For example, a home that's closer to Highway 50 and Target feels very different from a home that's tucked away in a cul-de-sac near Lake Michigan. It's the same city, but a totally different experience. The home in a neighborhood is going to be quieter with just your neighbors. But the home closer to Lake Michigan, you can have more traffic, more noise with people going to and from the beach and parks near the lake, and more people just walking around. It'll just feel generally busier than it will with a home inside of a neighborhood. Let's talk about home values in micro markets. This is why the neighborhood that you choose matters more than the bigger city within Kenosha. 2 homes that are 5 minutes apart, they can appreciate differently. Different neighborhoods that are more highly sought after, with 2 similar homes in different neighborhoods, they can get very different prices. They sell at different speeds. This is the same as appreciation. Depending on how popular the neighborhood is, will dictate how quickly the home sells. Just depends on how popular the house is. They attract different buyer pools. An Allendale home will attract a different buyer than a home will in Whitecaps, and a Whitecaps home will attract a different buyer than a home in Forest Park will. Why? Well, just because buyers shop by how they feel. They don't say, I need Kenosha. They say, I want a quiet, I want a walkable neighborhood, I want newer construction, I want mature trees. That's neighborhood driven behavior. Micro markets matter more than city borders. You may be asking yourself, Chad, when does the city actually matter? Well, the city actually matters when it comes to things like property taxes. Nobody wants to pay more for the taxes than they have to. Villages like Pleasant Prairie and Summers, they typically have lower taxes in the city of Kenosha on similar sized houses. So if you're just looking for a home that's cheaper, this might play a factor in a buyer's decision. Village versus city governance. City government is typically bigger than some that don't have a city. So that might attract a specific buyer. Municipal services. So this is the big one in areas like Kenosha and out in the county. Kenosha has city sewer and city water throughout all of the city. Areas like Pleasant Prairie, Summers, Salem, Bristol, they still have wells, septic tanks, and some buyers this matters a lot, and others they just don't care. But either way, it changes your buyer pool. School district. Now obviously you can't change your school district, but some buyers it matters to a lot. So the school district that you're in, it can matter to some buyers. So is your school in a good school boundary or not? Future development plans. What's planned for the city that you live in? Is it growing? Is it staying the same? Is it shrinking? Most people want a city that has job opportunities, options for housing. Does the city that you're moving into live in now? Does it have those options? Is the city structured for a good lifestyle? Is the city structured for growth? Or is it kind of staying the way it is? Or is it continuing to grow? That matters to a lot of people. So what your city plans on doing in the future, what it's doing now, it can matter for resale value and for buyers that are looking at your house right now. Now this one matters if you're buying another house. Move-up buyers often focus on things like square footage, bedroom count, a better city or neighborhood, but they often forget things like, do the kids have sidewalks? Are there other families that are nearby or in the same neighborhood? Is the street active or quiet? Are we close to things that we actually use on a weekly basis, like the grocery store, restaurants, and entertainment? You can buy a bigger house and still feel like something's not quite right because the neighborhood didn't really match your life stage. Have you ever wondered how we help clients find the right house here in Kenosha? Well, here's the secret. When we work with buyers here in the Kenosha area, we don't start with the city that you want to live in, which I know sounds backwards, right? We start with a lifestyle mapping. Where are you right now in life? What does your life look like in the next 5 to 10 years? What's your daily routine like right now? Where do you work at? Where do you shop? Where do you go out for fun? What's your commuting pattern? How far are you from work right now? How far are you comfortable with being from work? Do you want to spend an hour in your car each way from work every day? Or do you want to be only 10 minutes away from work? Resale psychology. Do you plan on selling your house in the next 5 to 10 years? Or will this be the house that you're going to live in until the day that you die? Then we narrow down based on neighborhoods. Then we look for homes in those areas. City actually comes last. And I know that's backwards from how most people search online, but it actually works for a lot of people. If you're watching this because you're trying to decide where to move in Kenosha, Pleasant Prairie, Summers, or Racine, or even relocating from Illinois, don't choose the city first. Choose the lifestyle. Then find the neighborhood that supports it. If you're moving in the next 6 to 12 months, you need to talk through this before making a mistake. Our contact information is down below in the description of this video. And if this was helpful, subscribe, because we drop useful videos every single week. We can't wait to see you next week on the next video. Have a fantastic week, and we'll see you next week.